Inflation may well have been one of the key factors behind the fall of the Roman Empire. Over the centuries, several misguided economic decisions were adopted by the Roman emperors, and this triggered a depreciation cycle of the Roman currency, contributing to the economic and social instability that brought about the Roman Empire's downfall. All this happened right after the end of the Republic and the dawn of the Empire. From Augustus on, the emperors understood that they could use coins with their images on them to display their power and earn popularity. Coins became an important way for them to stand out and flaunt their authority. Of all these coins, the one that stood out the most was the denarius. Through the centuries, it was the backbone of the Roman economy, a currency that passed through wars, conquests, and expansions of the empire. When the denarius was introduced, it was an almost pure silver coin. Over the years, its purity gradually began to fade. The almost pure silver was superseded by lower quality alloys, reducing the coin's theoretical weight, signaling a worrying change in the Roman economy. The denarius's decay was a complex phenomenon, driven by several factors. The lack of precious metals was an important reason, as was the inadequacy of the state's finances. And this all worsened during wartime, when the debasement became even greater, with a need to mass-produce coins to pay for armies and supplies. Coins minted during these times often had less silver and were slightly smaller in size, mirroring the pressing needs of the state. This was done even before the empire started. For instance, General Mark Antony himself once issued denarii of debased silver to fund his military campaigns. In issuing coins with their portraits emblazoned on them, emperors not only sought to spread their image, but also to display wealth and authority. This did not come without consequences, however. The Roman Empire's monetary economy often experienced inflation spells. This was largely the fault of the emperors themselves, often issuing coins to finance large-scale projects, such as public buildings or military campaigns, which, despite bolstering their propaganda, often brought little benefit to the people. Nevertheless, we can safely say that, up until the end of the 2nd century AD, Roman inflation was well under control. After the assassination of Emperor Commodus in 192, the Roman economy changed dramatically. A devastating civil war broke out with the end of the Nerva-Antonine dynasty, and the Roman Empire descended into a period of political chaos and military unrest. Money became extremely important in this tumultuous context, influencing not only the economy, but also politics and the empire's destiny. The ancient historian Herodian noted that, after the rule of Commodus, money became the main motivator for people. Roman emperors found that they could use it to secure their soldiers' loyalty, bribing them and earning their support with even more generous payments. The Civil War further heightened the need for financial resources, not only to maintain the army, but also to guarantee the army's loyalty. During this uncertain period, Septimus Severus rose to prominence, establishing a new dynasty that would rule the Roman Empire for more than 3 decades. Yet the repeated military campaigns exhausted the imperial treasury. Striving to secure the army's loyalty and defeat his opponents, Severus expanded the military ranks and raised the soldiers' wages. As military spending soared and social instability grew, Rome was forced to lower the amount of silver in its coins to cover expenses. Over time, this led to rampant inflation, significantly contributing to the empire's decline. Caracalla, Severus's son, followed the Roman army's expanding policy by increasing soldiers' salaries. From the 1st century AD, the annual pay of an infantryman was around 225 denarii, but under Caracalla's reign, this amount was doubled. Caracalla decreed that no person was allowed to have more money than him, except the soldiers, and this reflected the priority given to the army in the empire's spending. In 215, under Caracalla's rule, a new currency was introduced to replace the denarius. It was called the Antoninus and was technically worth the equivalent of 2 denarii. But the reality was that the Antoninus had less silver than that, only weighing 1.6 times as much silver as the denarius. As the Antoninus grew more prevalent, the denarius stopped being minted in meaningful quantities, replaced altogether in 238, during Gordian III's reign. While the Roman Empire experienced political and economic challenges, the value of the Antoninus dwindled. About 50 years later, around 268 AD, during Galenius's tenure, the coin's silver percentage was quite low, ranging from 5 to 10%, and copper and tin were added to offset this devaluation. From Gordian III to Galenius, historical records and archaeological evidence reveal an unprecedented increase in silver minting. Since wars no longer generated the great profits they used to, the Roman Empire stopped expanding its borders in any significant way from the beginning of the 2nd century. With military campaigns turning more defensive or focused on internal issues, the imperial government found itself dealing with a financial dilemma. The sudden surge in production of precious metal coins could have led to a significant increase in taxes charged to the empire's inhabitants, worrying all social classes. Confronted with financial insecurity, the Roman emperors adopted a seemingly logical strategy: to remint and manipulate the currency. By pulling the old, purer silver coins out of circulation, the emperors melted them down and added more base metals to the new ones. This degraded the quality of the silver coins, allowing more to be produced for payouts, especially to soldiers. This ingenious move allowed the empire to increase the money supply without affecting its legal value, but raised concerns about its financial stability and trust in the currency. This period of instability saw trade between distant regions plummet. Mines were halted and foreign invaders took gold coins from the empire. This greatly depleted the amount of money available and weakened the banks. By the end of the 3rd century, reforming the coinage system became vital, mainly because the gap in value between bronze and silver coins had become too narrow due to the weakening of the silver coin. In 284 AD, Emperor Diocletian rose to power and tackled this crisis head-on. He sought to stem the situation by introducing price controls in 301 AD and issuing a new silver coin called the argenteus. Except that in just a decade, the value of the argenteus doubled. Hyperinflation escalated to alarming levels, with some estimates hinting at an inflation rate of up to 15,000% by the end of the 3rd century. By then, nothing more could be done to alter the monetary system. From then on, the worth of silver in coins fell even more, and this naturally meant that a Roman citizen would need a lot more silver coins to buy the same things as before. Hyperinflation impacted heavily on Roman society, leading people to start looking for alternatives to the official currency, exchanging goods and commodities directly. We cannot admittedly claim that this was the only factor, but we can confirm that the deterioration of the Roman currency accelerated the decline of the Roman Empire. In 476 AD, the Germanic leader Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor Romulus Augustus, putting an end to the Western Empire. From that moment on, no Roman emperor would ever rule from Italy again, and the world witnessed the collapse of one of history's greatest powers. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.